Charlie Kirk has done more for young black men than probably 99% of these self-proclaimed black activists who care so much about black lives. Charlie Kirk has taken young black men from a place of non-belief, from a place of victimhood, into a place where they not only knew they could, but they did the damn thing. He created opportunity after opportunity, whether it was education or in the world of business. He not only inspired them in word, but he did so in deed and in action. And yet, y'all want to see what the response, overwhelming response has been to the assassination of a man like this, a man who did not care about color, who would tell you the truth and read out the facts about a situation, but when it was all said and done, did not give a single damn what you look like, but only who you were. Y'all want to see the sort of response this man gets? We're going to start right here because we got time today. So I came across this right here. Now, this is obviously a pinning of a screenshot of a text message from a young man by the name of George Abaraonye. Something like that. Does he deserve the decency for me to say his last name correctly? Not at this moment. So George happened to be selected as the sitting class president at Oxford University. You know, the place that we used to take seriously, used to hold some sort of weight and gravitas. Yeah, that Oxford University now has this young dreadhead who couldn't have the decency to put on a damn suit, but instead came in some sweatpants to a debate against Charlie Kirk. And these are the words that he left behind. Charlie Kirk got executed. Let's effing go. Those are the words of this young man here. We have got time today.
To effectively create change in the world we desire. And Side Prop will argue that at times there is simply nothing else that can be required other than violent retaliation. And this is a view I wholeheartedly agree with. The view that some institutions are too broken, too regressive, too oppressive to be reformed. Like cancers of our society, they must and they should be taken down by any means necessary.
Now, my first question, y'all, is going to be this. What's the difference between old Georgie over there and any other common street thug from the hood? What's the difference between him and a Crip or a Blood? What's the difference between him and one of these kids out in Chirac, the south side of Chicago, taking his own young brother's life? What's the difference between that there and this here? This young man stated, and I use the term man loosely, that some institutions are just so broken that violence is necessary. Now, he didn't make this idea up. This actually happens to be a result of Marx's ideology, right? That essentially the means justify the ends, whatever the means may be. Yeah, sure, you're gonna have to shed some blood, right? Just ask Mao, right? Ask Mussolini, ask Fidel. I mean, yeah, we're likely gonna have to lose a few lives, but you know what? It will be for the greater good. And what is that greater good? Well, we will topple the institutions. Okay, then what do you have left? Well, then you have us, the state, and we'll run everything for you. Kumbaya, everything for free. Oh, so how are we gonna feed ourselves? That you're worrying about too much. You're asking too many questions. Off with your head. That's the ideology that this kid, this smooth-brained individual holds. He just said in front of faculty and staff who nominated him as his class president or their class president, He articulated that it is necessary to be violent in the face of ideas and words. Sound familiar? Now, I wanted to start here because, this is kind of going to be a degradation. We're going to start at academia, at where you would hope to find some level of, dare I say, intelligence. Next, we have in the arena of entertainment. Now, this is going to be a C-list, quote unquote, celebrity. Of course, many of the celebrities are deathly quiet about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, as they are about all things that actually matter that don't align with the woke ideologues. But here we have a woman by the name of Amanda Seales, who I'll explain and give further context. But for now, let's play the video out.
I can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk. First of all, Charlie Kirk don't believe in empathy. He said it's a bad thing. He said it's some new age made up shit. He also said people got to be sacrificed in order to protect guns. If he was saying that while fighting for reparations, I may have a little bit of empathy. But this white on white violence, he died? Damn, B. Life comes at you fast. I can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk because I cannot be in his shoes. I have no frame of reference for that. I have no cognizance for that.
It's called humanity. And that's what she lacks and many of her ilk lack. Humanity, common decency, that old thing.
Literally is nothing about his existence that I can relate to. So I don't have any empathy because I have no connectivity. I have more connectivity to someone who is a complete stranger that dies of a drug overdose than I do to someone like Charlie Kirk. Because life is hard.
So I unpacked this one the first time my lady was actually watching it, I believe this morning. I don't know who was doing a reaction to it, but she was watching this video and, I had to have her stop. Yeah, I do that at the house too. I was like, wait, stop right here. And I gave her some context of who this person is, because as many of y'all probably have no idea, she had no idea who the hell that actually is. Yeah, Amanda Seales, Z-list celebrity, actually despised by many, even in the black community. And so what she is doing is she is attempting to buy herself brownie points within the so-called black community. Here's how it works. We've got time today. Amanda Seales has been criticized for not aligning with her blackness enough or criticizing certain things within, the quote unquote black experience. So she realizes that she's going to need an ultimate virtue signal. Charlie just so happens to be the target of that virtue signaling, right? Unfortunately, she's using the execution of a father and a husband in front of his wife and his children as essentially a platform for her to win these brownie points with black folks in America. So the first thing she brought up, which was interesting, is the reparations thing, right? If he had stood for reparations, honey, I don't give a damn what he would have said. I would have been all up in that, essentially what she's expressing. So reparations is one of these conversations where if you bring it up around black Americans, most black Americans, right? Usually not the conservative black American crowd. It's, they understand what that's about and they understand more of historic context and how it's utter nonsense. Because if you owe reparations to one, you owe it to every single one. Because everybody's been through something at the hands of somebody else's ancestors. Okay? But she uses reparations because it is a talking point that triggers the seal effect, what I call the clapping seal effect from the masses. Then she mentions, I can't relate to Charlie Kirk, i.e. my blackness stops me from relating to your whiteness, as opposed to my humanity can see the humanity in you. I have not seen a single genuine straight black man sit there, or black woman sit there and say, I can't relate to that because, honey, he wasn't black enough. Child. No. Instead, what I heard was from the sane, humane black folks is, damn, our brother is gone. Wow, they really took his life for what? For an opinion? For holding a relatively centrist, common sense opinion? That's what they took him out for in public, in front of his kids and his wife? Nah, that's evil. That's wrong. But on this side of the aisle, where essentially they use everything as fodder, everybody is going to be subject to this. It doesn't matter if the damn Pope, a good and righteous Pope, were to be executed. If he's white and he doesn't align with their ideology, they will find a way to do the exact same thing. The exact same thing. So she uses George Floyd. I have more in common with a dope fiend who died. She's drawing the George Floyd parallel in order to pander. Look, I'm here to break things all the way down now. I'm not sparing. I'm not holding anything back in any video. And I wasn't trying to before, but something else is unlocked in me. If we're going to go there, we're going to go all the way there. We need this now more than ever. We need the logic, the reason, the intellect, as well as the balls to say what needs to be said. And ladies, we can have, the ovaries to say, I don't know if there's an equivalent, but you catch what I'm throwing. We need to have the boldness, the bravery, the courage to say what needs to be said. So she is using it as a platform. So this is essentially the woke black celebrity. Now I'm going to get into a very disturbing and close to home category. It's close to home because, I actually happen to have a very close family member who cut me off, and now I realize it's a blessing, but they cut me off because who I voted for. Go figure. So, yeah. The black queer community and their response.
And if you look at it for real, Charlie would have wanted it this way. He was so for guns, so for the violence, that he died by one. Isn't that beautiful? Rest in peace, Charlie.
He was shot because we don't have food in our fridge. He was shot because our co-workers of color are being incarcerated and sent back to their country for no reason. He was shot because we don't have health care. We are so mad up to the point that we're actually starting to take pew-pews and take them to politicians. And honestly, I do not agree with gun violence at all. I feel like there's other ways that we can have a discussion without having to bring out the pew-pew. But we have tried. We've done peaceful protesting. We've wrote into the government. But no, these red-sided people don't care. So what do you think we're gonna do? The red-colored people are like, he was such a good person. Why did he get shot? If you've seen the video on Twitter, please listen to the last 10 seconds of what he said before he went. And
Did y'all hear the chirp in the back? I really just had to point that out because yes, petty me is back. Y'all heard the chirp, right? Beep. Direct indicator of the level of IQ that you are currently experiencing. Sum total of maybe 7 or 8 tops. So, yeah, I'm not even going to let that play out. And by the way, the last conversation he was having was about the most eerily ironic thing. If, when they catch this guy, if all of this checks out, allegedly there is writing on some of the weaponry that was found, and it was related to the Transformer people. And the last conversation, the last debate of sorts he was having, the last question he was answering was about violence coming from the Transformers specifically, and why it is so high coming from them. It's the most eerie thing. So we have one more for y'all. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to play this last one. You guys get the point here. Let's get to what we're here for. You know, evil always has to justify itself in order for it to get away with whatever it wants to do, right? Like when you have a criminal, somebody who, let's say, steals, robs houses, they steal from stores, etc. They feel justified in their stealing. It's the only way you don't damn near implode from cognitive dissonance. They have scrambled brains just trying to get to a justification. So, there's that element, and there's something, I've discussed with my lady, which is it's interesting how oftentimes when, let's say, we have a breakup or whatever it is, we look to make the other person a monster. And I'm not saying that sometimes they're not, but even in cases they weren't that bad, we have to justify it instead of just saying, you know what, we just weren't right for each other. That's almost more difficult than saying, oh man, they're a narcissist and they did this. Oh, it was terrible. We have to make it so bad in order to justify our action of leaving, instead of, again, just saying, look, I know I might seem like a bad guy or whatever, but it just wasn't for me. We just weren't gelling. We weren't mixing. I just didn't want to be in the relationship. I have more respect for that than somebody who either steps out in their relationship or, is essentially going to then wait for a terrible situation, probably self-manufactured, in order to get out. That same paradigm or that same dynamic plays out with these people when a man who was an innocent man, and I say innocent mostly because there was no antagonizing. Now, I know in the world of the wokety woke folk on the left, words are violence. Turns out that in reality land, words are words. Now, words can incite, can lead to, but the words themselves are words. Violence, however, is always violence. You see? If I told you that I was going to do something to you, or even worse, if I said something you don't like, I had a different opinion than you, that's not violence, sweetheart. Those are words. You see? It's words. But if I put the beats on you, that's violence. If I aimed a weapon at you, that right there, that's violence. What was done to Charlie Kirk was actual violence. What Charlie Kirk was doing was having a conversation where he happened to disagree with some folks. But in their twisted worldview, they have to make him the instigator or even the perpetrator. They have to make him wrong. Let's go back to Austin Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony. How are these black liberals able to celebrate the massacre? Well, I mean, massacre would technically, it was, well, the butchering. It was butchering because it was a knife involved. So the butchering of a young man's heart. Dude was shanked in the damn heart, folks. I damn near think that's worse than a pew pew. Not that it's not as far as a life is taken, not that, but somebody to put that much how much hatred has to be in you to jab somebody like that. That right there was an act of violence. Whatever it is that Austin Metcalf likely did cannot be equally weighed with what Carmelo did. And yet, black liberals stood in lock damn step with Carmelo Anthony, the same way they did with OJ. I'm sick of you Negroes. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm done mincing words. I'm ready for all the sellout. I'm ready for all of it. I've been here for it. But now, the conversation that me and God have had, no. You nignogs are here until something changes. Simple. Or until you just can't listen to it no more. You got to run off into a little hole somewhere because you can't handle it. Y'all stood with the perpetrator and you still used race. That's nasty work. You blamed circumstantial, made up dog water, just nothingness. Well, you see, the black man's plight makes it so that, remember the first video I showed y'all? Mr. Magnum Cum Negro, remember? Mr. El Presidente, the commander and thief. He said that it's okay to take somebody's life because the system is so broken. So what are they going to say? Well, the white man's system's the reason why the black man did it. Y'all seen that damn meme of the guy on the bike or the girl on the bike and they fall? Like they're on the bike, they fall and they're like, oh, white man. The white man tripped me. No, sucker, you fell. Yes, I'm bringing back 1970s jive talk. You fell. You by yourself fell. No white man pushed you. You took that young man's life. Nobody forced you. You decided to take that act of evil. Nobody forced you. Nobody forced you. You did it. Yet them nignogs are going to stand behind you like you're some damn Martin Luther King or something. Charlie Kirk was an actual good man. He was a kind man. He was y'all love this word. He was a tolerant man. And that's the man that y'all took. The tolerant one. They celebrate the senseless execution of a man who was desperate to wake them up to their own evil. Desperate for them to realize that their ways were going to lead them down the wide path, the wide road that leads to death. That's all he cared about. He told you the truth about Transformers because he didn't want you to suffer what comes with that ideology. He told you the truth about your victimhood mentality because he didn't want you to suffer from perpetual self-victimhood always on your damn head. You were creating your own limitations, self-imposed. And he was willing to say, hey, it doesn't have to be this way. You can create something, build something of your own. You're smarter than that. I remember a video where he was speaking to a young Iranian, let me put some respect on that name. A young Iranian man. And he was telling him, you don't need any sort of reparations or, any sort of preference or DI. He said, you don't need DI. Do you know that Iranians are one of the most successful groups of people when they make their way into the United States and, when they go abroad? Do you know? He was basically saying, do you know who you are with your bad self? He was pumping y'all up, lifting y'all up. He told you that if you get rid of your own child in your own womb, you will suffer. You not only grieve the Lord, but you grieve yourself for a lifetime. The decision that you're making, laying up with a stranger. Do you not know that this is going to be your trauma? But I can't be shocked, folks. I can't be shocked because at the end of the day, did they not take the life of Christ? Yeshua, what? A perfect man? God? What the hell are they going to do to... That's why I know, look, I do my best to be my best, and I will continue to do so. I pray to become a better man as I move forward. But I also know that I can be, a biter. I can be a lot of different things. How that man was dealing with it, I deal with it in a little bit of a different way. We're going to call it what it is. I'm going to call you a fool in your face because that's foolishness. A fool exudes foolishness. When I was a fool, when I was foolish, I was a fool. I was stupid. Simple. I was wrong. So no, I'm not here. I'm not here to have no damn discussion. I'm here to tell you what it is now. When it's wrong is wrong. When it's right is right. You should be able to express your opinion 100%. Go ahead, go for it. Knock yourself dead. But to take the man's life, to try to knock him dead because you don't like what he said, that's on you. That is on you. Man, y'all done woke up something different. Something all the way different. Because the youth has got time today. And this generation that's coming up right now, oh Lord, y'all are not ready for these ones. Y'all are not ready for these ones, these kids? No, these ones are different. Them little vid kids, them little COVID babies, them, the digital natives, them, I'm not messing with them. I know what that's about. They're not going for any of the yada, 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 back and forth. They're not going with any of that. They are about to establish themselves. They're not going with none of that victim. Oh, they're laughing at that nonsense. The youngsters in my family, they think that is foolishness. They're laughing at y'all. And we're going to make sure they continue to do so. And they continue to stand firm in the truth. Black folk, y'all have the opportunity of a lifetime to stand as an example. You were blessed to be a blessing, not to be a damn fool. You had the spotlight on you. Boom, Black America. You got some of the most powerful, influential institutions circled around you. What are black people gonna do next? Oh, movies. Oh my goodness. Oh, music. Oh my goodness. Comedy, athletics. The whole world is watching. And what do these fools decide to do? Oh man, we victims. We can't help ourselves. Oh shucks, the white man that held me down, Mouso. Negro, don't you know you are free? Don't you know you have the right to live your own life? Don't you know that? Are you unaware? Did you not get the Lincoln memo? Brother, you're free. Live your life freely. Stop being a damn victim. Stop it. Now you are exuding and displaying some of the most egregious and disgusting behavior. All to hide behind your little victim complex. Get your ass up. Get to work. Do something. Build something. Be some damn body for yourself and for those around you. Take some responsibility, damn it. My mind is blown. And I didn't bring this up when I first brought this dude up. But come on, man. Come on. Come on. A damn do-rag at a debate? That's what y'all doing? This is it? Pandering. He's pandering and they're pandering to him. Y'all need to stop being scared of these people here. That's what got a lot of white folks messed up. I'm going to be honest right now. The good-hearted, decent white folks who just want to live their life, who talking about I don't see color. Y'all stop seeing color, but everybody sees yours. Y'all let the foolishness go on for too long. You should not feel guilty for calling this mess out the way that I do. Say it. It's you're going to get the backlash, baby. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times more. But guess what? As soon as it hits, it's going to do what we call a ricochet. Not a ricochet, a ricochet. It's going to ricochet right up off of you. Boom. Ricochet. Boom. Ricochet. The more you tell that truth, damn it, the less you care about the response you get. And you will stand by yourself and say what needs to be said. You'll be at the job and say what needs to be said. You'll be at the PTA meeting. Actually, no, that is misinformation, ma'am. That is not it. That's not true. Those statistics are inaccurate. Now, I empathize with all people, of course, but by golly, white lives do matter. Black lives matter. All lives matter. Black people are not disproportionately affected by police violence. That is inaccurate. Can we start looking at cultural elements? Once you start having them conversations, they're going to start stuttering. They're going to heat up. They're going to get mad at you, whatever, but you're going to lay the truth bare and leave it there. You don't have to fight for the truth. You just have to be willing to put the truth in your fight. That's a bar right there. That's an exclusive drop. You don't have to fight for the truth. The truth is the truth. You just have to be willing to put the truth in your fight. So when you stand for something, when you fight for something, you make sure that it is all for the sake of the truth. Boom. Here's the truth. I laid it out. Good luck with it. A boy's a boy, a girl's a girl. That's the law. Good luck with it. Oh, I'm sorry. Your kids are offended. Oh, I'm sorry. You're offended that I don't want to go along with your delusion. Okay. Well, you know what we're going to do for you? Absolutely nothing. Have a good day, sir, ma'am. Peace. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace. Quitters.
I've been up for hours, I've been up for days, you staring at the ceiling, I've been counting strays, you I've been in my feelings, I've been out of mind, I've been getting visions of the other kind. I've been up for weeks, I'm in the count of blessings over count of sheep. I can never be the type to limit when it comes to me. I used to be the pleaser for the people I ain't even need.